So here I have a multi-site setup. You can see I have Palo Alto, San Jose, and I have web servers. I have 4 web servers called Web F5. I have Web F5, Web F5 2, 3, 4, and they're across both of my sites on this universal web F5 logical switch. Okay? I have one at site 1 and the rest are at site 2. So if I go to the LTM at site 1, you can see its WIP is 10.109.14. This is the LTM at site 1, Palo Alto. If I go to the web pool here, you can see it has 4 members. And if I click into the web pool, you can see it's monitoring based on HTTP. It's basically doing a HTTP GET. You can do a lot more granularity here. I click on the members, you can see 1 guy is active, and the other 3 are inactive because they're at site 2. That's expected. This is my Palo Alto site, I only have 1 of the web servers there. Okay? So now if I go to the site 2 LTM, you can see it has a different WIP. Instead of 10.100.9.14, it's 10.200.9.14. Okay? I'll look at the members here. I should see 3 web servers active. Still have 4 members, but I have 3 web servers here. Okay? Again, I'm monitoring on HTTP here. If I click the members, I'll see 3 active, 1 inactive. This guy has 3 web servers at site 2. The other one's at site 1, so it's showing as inactive. Okay? So how am I doing this is I'm using universal distributed firewall rules saying that San Jose F5 LTMs cannot talk to the web VMs here in Palo Alto. And same thing on the secondary site. I'm saying Palo Alto F5 LTMs cannot talk to the web VMs here because I want the traffic to go to the correct WIP, right? I want to handle that ingress appropriately. So at this point, I'm going to go to my NSX manager. I'll go to my primary NSX manager, and I'll go under security tags. And you'll see I created a universal security tag that identifies my web VMs. Okay? And you can see there's only 1 VM here at site 1 that has this universal security tag. That's the Web F5 web server. If I go to site 2, you'll see there's 3 web servers, right, that have that security tag. Those are Web F5 2, 3, and 4, as expected. So you can see how I'm using everything here. Tags, F5, you'll see panorama. So now I'm going to go to my grouping objects. I'll go to my security groups. And I'll show you one here, for example, to save time. I created a security group for my web VMs. And basically I'm saying any VM that has this security tag of web, put in this security group. Then I use these in those policies I showed you. So now if I go to the F5 DNS at site 1, you can see the A record here that I have, right? This is the web address I'll use. I can see it's active here. And I can see I'm using load balancing mechanism of topology, which is based on region. If I click this pool here, you can see it has 4 members, right? And you can see here it's active. If I click the members, these are the LTMs. You can see there's 1 LTM active at site 1 and another active at site 2, and these red ones are standby. These are both active at site 1 and site 2 because I have web VMs right now at both sites, right? So they're both showing as active, and they both have different VIPs you can see there. So now if I go to topology records, you can see I created 2 regions and I associated them with different data centers, Palo Alto and San Jose. If I look at the regions, you can see I'm saying I defined a Palo Alto region, and any client that's connecting from this subnet or subnet range. It's 10.100.0.109. The San Jose I've defined as 10.200.0.109. Okay? So now you'll see when I connect from these clients what happens. Okay? I'll go to my Palo Alto client, I'm going to do a DNS connect. I'll do an NSX lookup using that A record web address, and it'll return the WIP, the local WIP of Palo Alto, right? 10.100. Now, if I go to the web address, I should only get web server 1, which is what I get. That's the only web server there. I'm going to go to my San Jose client. I'll do another NSX lookup here. You can guess what's the WIP I'm going to get. The site 2 WIP, right? Because I have active web servers there. You can see 10.200.0.109. I get 10.200, the WIP from site 2. If I do go through the client here, web browser, I get web server 4. There's 2, 3, and 4 on site 2. So if I open another tab, go again, it'll do another one, 2. Next one will be 3 because I'm doing round robin locally. Okay? I'm doing topology at the GSLB layer, round robin locally, and exactly what we get, right? So So pretty cool. So at this point, these are my rules, redirection rules, my primary NSX manager. They were pushed down from my panorama. So I'm saying any traffic going to my web servers, redirect to panorama. Okay? And I'd have the same on the secondary. I have both for the VMs at site 1 and from the VMs at site 2, redirect to panorama. Okay? So now if I come into panorama, the active one, you can see this is active here. Okay, I go to this panorama tab, in NSX Manager plugin here, you can see it's registered to both NSX managers. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the steering rules. These were automatically created based on the policies I created here in Panorama. I created these and they automatically got pushed down to my NSX managers. If I go to the policies, you can see I have two policies. It's basically saying all traffic from the web servers at site 1, allow, and all traffic from web servers at site 2 allow. That's the default. This has been working, so everything's coming through here, allow. What I'm going to do is deny traffic to the web servers at site 1. And we'll see what effect that has, on our GSLB. So I'm going to deny traffic to the site 1 web servers. I'm going to commit this and push it down. Okay? So once I've done this, what I'm going to do now is go back to the local LTM. You can see that one web server was up at Palo Alto. If I refresh, you'll see now it went down because of that policy, right? So now if I go back to the client and I do another NSX lookup, what am I going to get? You guys know, right? I'm going to get the WIP from side 2 because this guy has no active web servers now. And that's exactly what I get, 10, 200, 9, 14. If I go to the web server, now I can hit any of them. Well, I won't hit web server 1, but I'll hit 2, 3, or 4 in a round robin fashion, right? So first I hit 2, I open in another tab, it'll go to 3 or 4. 4, so the next one will obviously be 3. Okay, so pretty cool. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my panorama, I'm going to change this to allow again. And let's see what happens when I vMotion that single web server sitting at site 1 to site 2. Okay, so I'm going to commit and push. Okay, so you can see the benefit of this, one GUI managing both sites. So going back here, I'm just going to do a vMotion. This is my only web server sitting at site 1. The other 3 are sitting at site 2. Okay, so just going through the vMotion steps there. So I'm going to select here San Jose, and I'm just going to randomly pick one of the hosts in the cluster. Okay. And then I'll pick a storage, respective folder, and then also make sure it is moved to the same network, the universal network that's visible on both sides. Okay, so we'll select the universal network for Web F5, and then we'll just complete our vMotion here. So let's make sure it's actually vMotioned completely before we run our test. So you can see here it's in the process of vMotioning, and it should complete any second now. Okay, so now we'll go back to site 1. You'll see initially that first web server was not active. If I refresh here at the site 2 LTM is where I'm at, you can see now the site 2 LTM sees all 4 web servers. All 4 are active at site 2. None are active at site 1. So now if I go to this client at site 1, my Palo Alto client, it's going to go again to the site 2 WIP, which is expected. But now if I go through the GUI, I'll also hit web server 1 because it's sitting at site 2, right? Again, same process if I go round robin, right? So right here you can really see some of the power and flexibility with everything coming together, NSX, Palo Alto, F5, and so on. On top of this, you could have SRM, vSphere, you can just keep going for your solution. So the point I'm trying to get across is platform for multi-site.